What's up, y'all? This is John, and I have Wes back with me again today for another episode of the Nothing Finer podcast. And as always, you can find us live on Millions or on the Fans First Sports Network. We are continuing our series for the wildest season in college football history again this week, and with part four. But before we get to that, how you been? What are you drinking?
I've been good. I've been off. Well, not really off. Saturday was our first group and zero day at the range, so that was fun. But yeah, no, it's been fun. Have a PT test tomorrow morning. All combat arms MOSs are taking PT tests tomorrow.
How many
Don't
combat arms do you guys have there?
a good bit. So
They do split ops at Fort Jackson and then that's wild.
yeah, but yeah, no, I'm drinking a right now. I have a Welch's strawberry kiwi juice. It's really and a water. So yeah, I am getting totally lit tonight. If you can't tell.
Hell yeah. Um, I'll be honest, dude. I don't think I did anything all weekend, so
No,
that's a good weekend.
right? I
It's the
wish I had
first
those
time
kind
in a
of
while I haven't had something to do.
wish I had those kind of weekends, but no, I just spent all day Saturday at the range.
Well, that is a good day if you're able to shoot.
Yeah, not when you're not shooting.
Yeah, that sucks. Um, but I picked up a new bottle of whiskey today.
Ooh,
So it's been a while since I bought anything because I hadn't been drinking as much. But I just wanted to go out and get something different. So I went over to Largo Beverage in Savannah. If you're in the area, this is not an ad by any means, but they have the best
it
store
can be.
picks.
It can be though.
It can be. It
It
can
can
be.
be.
I was in there. I had a conversation with one of the guys that works there today about the Braves because he had the game pulled up on a TV behind the counter. But
They win.
they did.
Did they play?
Yankees.
Okay. For some reason, I thought they were playing the Cardinals, and I was really hoping they won.
No, no, no. They beat the Yankees, and apparently this is the Yankees' fourth straight series loss. So that's
Damn.
a yeah, love that.
Right?
Regardless of who beats the Yankees, fuck the Yankees. Um, but no, I got a single barrel Knob Creek bourbon, 10 years old, 120 proof. Um, but if you don't know, Knob Creek, while it is very good stuff, is distilled by in the same distillery as Jim Beam. So you get
Oh,
a lot of the same flavors that you get in higher end Jim Beam stuff in here, which is like if you're able to pick out tasting notes, anything made at Jim Beam's distillery, you're gonna get peanut flavor with it. I don't know what it is. There's no peanuts. A lot of people say flavor comes from the different types of yeast they use to do the fermentation. I don't know, but I haven't
that's
had
fair.
this yet, so I'm gonna take some.
I was just about to ask that if it was just a new bottle that you haven't had or just a new bottle.
No, I haven't had it all. I opened it right before you got on here.
All right, and let's hear
It's good.
it.
No, I first so the first all right. When you're getting into whiskey, the first pour out of every bottle, I don't care what people in the industry tell you. First pour out of every bottle, you get a lot of the burn that
Yeah.
you're not going to get through the rest of the bottle. So the first
Huh.
sip, I, the theory is that there's alcohol vapors in the neck that when you pour the bottle into a glass gets trapped in the glass too. But the first taste, I got a lot of sweetness, a little bit of peanut, and then a lot of alcohol burn. So I will update you guys after the alcohol vapors go away.
As you go down.
Yep. All right. You ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. So we're only doing week 6 this week, and that's really because this is where it starts to get absolutely crazy. But before we get into any of that, we messed up. Last week, we forgot to mention a very, very important piece of college football history that happened in 2007. So, Here it is. Here it is. Oh, hold on.
Maybe.
No, I muted it earlier because it came on when it wasn't supposed to. And now it's trying to play in the background while it's muted, so I gotta wait for it to quit. And then my computer updated right as I was trying to get on to start the thing.
Oh,
So
that was it. Just put it on her phone. Just hold it like.
no, I got it.
Okay.
All right, try it again.
Read the newspaper because it's garbage, and you're that come out the garbage, attacking amateur athletes for doing everything right. Read the newspaper because then you write articles about don't be right and let it come out is garbage. Are you kidding me? Where are we attacking an amateur athlete for doing everything? I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Right, so, and then you want to write articles about guys that don't do things right and downgrade the ones that do make plays.
That was Mike Gundy's "I'm a man, I'm 40" rant. Happened during Week 4 after after Oklahoma State's loss to Texas Tech. That was actually a fun game to watch. I went back and watched it last week, but you know that's our fault. It's our bad. It was a maybe history that we overlooked.
Maybe
And
a piece of history.
what the funny part of it is when we decided to do this series, that's the first thing I looked up. Like, when was it? So I immediately texted Mike and I was like, all right, for Week 4, we got to talk about this. And then we came to talk about Week 4 and just went right on past us.
I don't think anything from the '07 season will beat them. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
The Georgia blackout game. No, nothing will be. I'm a man. I'm 40.
I mean, it is one of those things that is still quoted by sports fans.
Yeah.
17 years later, still regularly quoted by sports fans. But it goes viral every single college football season.
Yeah, it's great. And speaking of the blackout game, Mike, I love you. But I don't know why I thought this game was this early in the season. I was really hoping that we were going to cover it.
Not quite there yet. This is before Gus ruined it.
Yeah, but I was really hoping. Oh, shit. The Mets just hit a home run. Dang it.
Oh, it's Mets versus the Cubs?
Yeah, on Sunday Night Baseball.
Gross.
Why do you think I got, all the Cubs stuff on right now?
But you can put that Cash Jones jersey on backwards so we can see the signature.
I'll hold it up to the screen.
All right. So, Week 6. We're getting into it, and I know we've talked about it a number of times now, but the amount of change week to week in these polls, absolutely wild. 24 out of 25 teams in the AP poll moved between weeks 5 and 6.
That's crazy.
And only like 5 teams lost. So, yeah, no, I would love to go back and find a voter by voter poll and just email some of these people and be like, what is wrong with you?
I'm sure there has to be a way to find that.
We should. That's what we should do for the last episode of the series. Just be like, hey, nice to meet you. Why? Why are you the way you are? Please explain.
I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but my dog has found his squeaky ball.
Oh, I didn't hear anything you just said.
I said, I don't know if you can hear that, but my dog just found his squeaky ball. So if you can hear the squeaks, I'm sorry.
So, Week 6, this is where it starts to get really weird. And, I'm not going to go through the whole poll, but USF moved up to 6, Boston College moved up to 7, Kentucky moved up to 8, Hawaii moved up 3 spots to 16. And after having the same exact record, South Carolina jumps Florida like they honestly should have been the week before, because South Carolina had already beaten Florida.
Yeah.
And Georgia was ranked ahead of them. But anyways, they had South Carolina at 11 and Georgia at 12. And you can look it up. Sports Reference has the week-by-week AP poll numbers, which godsend for trying to go back and do this. But the amount of movement was just insane. The first place votes were split almost evenly, with LSU edging out the real USC 33 first place votes to 32 first place votes. And do what?
Sorry, work stuff going on.
Oh, if you need to go beat somebody up, just let me know.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
All right. So day starts off with some turmoil, if you will. Number 11 South Carolina beat number 8 Kentucky 38-23. And this off the wall comparison here, but this game was a lot like Georgia Southern against Wisconsin last year. And I say that because Kentucky was somehow in this game despite having 5 turnovers.
That's wild.
Yeah. Kentucky had, go ahead.
That's now the offensive now. Wow, why the offense is now? There we go. Having 5 turnovers will still put you in a game because how high powered the offenses are.
Yeah.
But back then, because it was more defensive prone than offensive. So having 5 turnovers in a game and still being in it's wild.
Yeah. They were down. I guess it was a 2-score game. Yeah, 2-score game, 15-point deficit.
Yeah.
But South Carolina scored late in that game, so it was one possession until late in the fourth quarter with Kentucky having 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
So Kentucky had 384 yards to South Carolina's 342. The Wildcats had 26 first downs compared to the Cox 18.
Jesus.
Kentucky arguably played a better game with the exception of those 5 plays, and it cost them because, we haven't looked at week 7 yet, but losing a game, even if it's to number 11, you're probably in the 20s. You were undefeated and beat number 4 team in the country 2 weeks ago? Yeah, you're 22 now.
22.
Matt Ryan and the Boston College Eagles only beat Bowling Green 55-24, so they're probably all the way out of the top 25 after this week.
Matt,
I'm pretty sure Matt Ryan did not play the fourth quarter in this game. They were so far.
If Boston College was smart, they wouldn't have. The one Matt Ryan Boston College highlight or memory I remember from him when he played there was that hit he had. I want to say it was Clemson, where he was running on the sideline and got hit so hard it knocked his helmet back at least 5 yards. I don't remember what season that was, but that was the only Matt Ryan memory I remember.
That's funny. And while we're on the subject of big hits, somebody, I don't remember the username on YouTube, has a week by week highlight of 2007 season.
I just saw it was SCW and some numbers.
Whoever is a true hero,
God sent.
But watching these highlights, defense was either a targeting penalty or non-existent, and that was 2007.
Yeah. So watching these videos, it makes me miss the old college football because it was Lou Holtz and Mark May.
Yeah.
And Reese Davis, the college football final.
Yeah.
And then they would have the court, and they have Reese Davis be dressed up in fucking judge suit, and Lou Holtz and.
Back when ESPN was fun and not just some idiots yelling at each other all day.
And they fight against each other. Lou Holtz, spitting and slurring everything, and
yeah.
Those were the good old days of college football.
Lou Holtz's age took some great college football content from us.
Oh yeah, I mean he still gets referenced by Ryan Day, so
yeah, if Lou Holtz wants to have one of these celebrity boxing matches with Ryan Day, I'll fight for him.
Right? I think Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Why am words so hard today?
It's because you're not drinking.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. The rules. Remember when the first rules came out about how he was going to be able to tag in his brother to fight and all this shit.
Well, I mean that fight got canceled anyways.
No, it got postponed. They're fighting in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm not a fan of real murder on live TV, but man, if Mike Tyson's anything like he can be, violence.
And the fact that it's gonna be on Netflix.
Yeah, love that. All right, going back to 2007, the Ron Zook led Fighting Illini, which I'm just gonna say this here. I had to look it up, how to pronounce it and then how to spell it. It's spelled Illini,
Illini.
but you pronounce it Illini.
Yeah,
You pronounce it with extra I's and N's from how it's spelled.
Illini, right? Illini.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah, dude. When you pronounce it, it don't look right.
yeah. The Illinois Illini. God, that's so much.
Fighting Illini.
I'm sorry, Fighting Illini. Whatever the fucking Illini is.
I don't know that weird orange team that loses a lot. They took down number 5 Wisconsin, 31-26, unranked. Ron Zook, head coached. Illinois beat number 5 Wisconsin, 31-26.
The Fighting Zookers.
That's actually what they called him in the highlight video. So I ended up doing a way bigger deep dive on this game than I probably should have.
You did.
So their offensive scheme was labeled as a spread option, but according to ESPN, they had no passing stats. Like if you Google this game, Illinois versus Wisconsin 2007, you can pull it up. According to ESPN, Illinois did not have a quarterback that day. You know what they did have? 121 yards receiving from no quarterback.
Makes sense.
So when I looked at this game, looked at the stat sheet, I was like, wait, no quarterback. I was like, is this a Florida Georgia Southern situation where they didn't throw a forward pass and still won the game? Nope, they 121 yards receiving. Just it didn't. ESPN just for whatever reason does not like. And I texted you who the quarterback, Juice Williams.
Yeah.
ESPN and Juice Williams must just have beef. I don't know.
Well,
Get it?
did you check out sports references or whatever?
No.
You should. Let's do that now.
All right, I'm gonna keep going. So, Rashard Mendenhall, you've watched any football over the last decade, you know that name. Led the way for Illinois with 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the big difference in this game was Wisconsin had 2 interceptions they threw. That was the difference in the game because passing stats I should say receiving stats almost identical. Wisconsin had a hard time running the ball, but turnovers in a 5-point game is absolutely going to kill you. Did you find it on Sports Reference?
I'm going to the season. Hold on.
All right, we're gonna hold here for a minute because I need to know. Like
Yep.
I even Googled, does Juice Williams have a problem with ESPN? Couldn't find anything. Like I don't know what's going on.
You know what? It's gonna take too long. Oh, but why don't you just look up his name? Duh.
Well, he's a coach somewhere now.
Juice Williams. All right, got him. Boom. 2007. There's an asterisk by 2007.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Show rushing and receiving. Was he not a quarterback?
Yeah, he was. Why does 2007 have an asterisk?
I don't know. 755 yards. Okay, but show game there. You go. Show scoring. Not what games? This is taking way too long. Sorry, everybody.
I did a giant deep dive and then didn't write any of it down. That's my bad. But on his Wikipedia page, it doesn't have anything for 2007 other than that he got injured in game 1.
I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, I'm very interested. Juice Williams, if you happen to see this, you are welcome to come on the show at any point in time, and we would love to know why you also dislike ESPN.
Here we go. All right. What game was it?
Against Wisconsin.
It said he had 121 yards. He was 12-19 with 121 yards and 1 touchdown.
Well, yeah, I saw that in the receiving stats, but according to ESPN, Juice Williams did not play this game.
Look at his passing stats: 12-19, 121 yards with 1 touchdown.
You know what? Good for you, Juice Williams. Stick it to ESPN. Until they start playing SportsCenter all day, every day again, I don't hear it.
There was nothing better than SportsCenter while you're waiting for the bus.
Yeah. Oh, you're telling me I can get up in the middle of the night for no reason? I can see the top 10 plays of the day?
Right?
Let's go.
Yeah, ESPN.
But see, here's the thing. I don't know anyone that likes watching their talk shows. I don't.
No.
Like, I know one person that listens to Colin Cowherd. 2. I know 2 people that listen to Colin Cowherd, but he's not even on ESPN.
The
and
only
he's
show
and he's wrong all the time.
the only show I'll watch on ESPN is like the Pat McAfee show when I catch it.
I I don't dislike it, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, it's a good watch.
I did see where a WWE wrestler tried to fight him in a show one time. I saw that clip.
Well, yeah, because he commentates for WWE now. And it's great.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I would love to see Pat McAfee throw some hands.
Oh, he's pretty good in the ring. I'll give him that.
All right, now that we went way too in depth on that one, we're going to talk about one of the bigger games of the day. LSU #1 playing #9 Florida in Death Valley. LSU ended up picking up the win 28-24. And Tebow honestly had a midday. 158 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 67 rushing yards, and a touchdown. But Florida did get up pretty big in this game. They got up 17-7 at one point, and the LSU defense gave up a lot of big plays. LSU defense gave up a couple like 6-yard plays in this game.
A reoccurring thing for LSU.
What?
He's
But
great.
the savior of this game for LSU was actually a guy that both you and I met a few years ago.
Who?
The day we first met,
Who?
Jacob Hester.
Oh,
Infamous. 4th and 1, halfback dive to get in position to win the game. They still had like a minute left on the clock after LSU scored this touchdown. And Tebow's Hail Mary got batted down in the end zone to hand Florida their second loss in a row. Lost to Auburn in the swamp, lost to LSU in Death Valley. And we already know this because it's a game we talked about a few weeks ago.
yeah.
They lose to Georgia in Jacksonville.
And that's crazy for like those Florida teams back in those days to lose back-to-back games like that.
Yeah. If you talk to somebody who only knows about their highlights and said 2007 Florida, Tebow, Percy Harvin, how many games did they lose that year?
Yeah.
No one would say 3.
No, not at all. But I think speaking of winning, the Hester, it brought up that the '07 Georgia team was the best team in the nation that season. He's like, we'll have a ring that says otherwise.
Yeah.
I got so mad.
Yeah. And what's funny is I've heard people ask Jacob Hester and other people that played for that '07 LSU team,
Yeah.
would you, like, who's the team you didn't want to play?
Yeah.
At the end of the year. It was always Georgia.
Oh yeah. So I speaking of the '07 season,
That's this whole episode about, so you can speak about it.
perfect. My first college football game was in the 2007 season. We bought tickets to the SEC championship game, thinking Georgia was going to go,
Oh no.
and because Kentucky was up on Tennessee, I believe. We're like, oh, and Tennessee ended up coming back. So, but we bought tickets as like Kentucky was ahead to go watch Georgia and LSU, and well, Tennessee ended up winning. So my first game was Tennessee versus LSU in the SEC championship game.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was not a fun time.
While we're talking about not fun times, number 17, Mizzou. Play in number 24, Nebraska. And Mizzou beat the shit out of Nebraska in this game.
Yeah.
41-6. Chase Daniel went off with 401 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and added another 72 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. This was just dismantling of a Nebraska team that was still somehow flying high off the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, I would still, because I mean, some people still fly them high from the '90s, but I don't know what it was about those Mizzou uniforms. I was a fan of watching the highlights. I was a fan of those uniforms.
Yeah,
They were
I will
nice.
say, I am as someone who tries to be objective about everything not specifically related to Georgia, which I really do try to be. Mizzou getting their swag back is so much fun.
So much fun.
It's so much like the Rock M. Love that. I love how every year when seniors graduate, they bring a rock to the M.
Oh, I
I
didn't know
love
that.
how people sit on the Rock M. I love how everybody calls Columbia, Missouri, Little Athens because it's just a little bit smaller. Like Mizzou is fun when they're good.
Dude, we need to take a trip to Como.
I want to so bad.
Hopefully, we don't see homos naked. But
No, dude, I want to. And give me that Drew Lock energy back in Columbia.
I love Drew. I don't know if you know this or not, or can tell. I'm a big believer So one of my favorite players, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, love Drew Lock. Like I don't know what it is, but like that cockiness and that like swagger, but I love it.
I love cockiness that's backed up. So like
Yeah.
Drew Lock when he would throw an 80-yard dot and put on the backpack. Yeah, like all day. All day.
Cool.
Yeah. No, one of the things I like the most about sports is when you can see people that are as good as they are at what they do and still find a way to have fun.
Oh yeah.
So, like, going back to a couple years ago, Georgia offensive lineman eating hot wings during the national championship. That's having fun.
So I don't think we talked about this when we recorded afterwards. Do you think they actually ordered those, or do you think they were fans on the sidelines? They're like, "Hey, let's get your wings."
One of the offensive linemen walked up to him and said, "Hey, can y'all order us some wings?"
You think so?
I would put money on it. You know what? We'll add that to the list of questions if we can talk to Nas again before the season starts.
Right?
That would be one of the questions.
You need to get cash.
We've tried. He doesn't get on social media except to post hunting and fishing pictures.
You're not wrong.
We've legitimately tried pretty hard.
I think if I get the first pick this year in our fantasy draft, I'm taking cash.
Okay.
It'll be the third year in a row I get the 1 pick.
And it's random every year too. That's the worst part. Anyways, so number 4 Ohio State beat a Purdue team that had not lost yet in 2007, 23-7. Nothing really of note happened in this game except for Ohio State had like 4 big plays. Very similar to their 2023 season. They would have like 4 big plays in a game, and everybody acts like they're unbeatable.
Yeah.
So number 13, West Virginia, and they're number 13 because they lost the week before. One understandable ranking in the season so far.
Yeah.
West Virginia beat the hell out of a Big East leading Syracuse team.
That's crazy.
Because West Virginia had not played a Big East game yet, and Syracuse had won their only Big East game.
That's fair.
Yeah. Pat White went down with another thigh bruise injury, which apparently was his 3rd one of the season. So as we get deeper into the year and he starts running less, I'm assuming, I don't know. This could be a reason why.
Yeah.
One of the big games of the day, unranked Stanford came from behind to beat number 2 USC in the beginning of the number 2 curse.
Yep. Who was good for Stanford at the time?
Who's Jim Harbaugh?
Who's got it better than us?
Currently, a lot of people.
Well, I don't know. They just signed Ladd to a pretty big fucking deal, so.
Well, yeah, but they still don't have offensive linemen to allow Justin Herbert to throw the ball without getting the shit beat out of him.
That's fine. Just do a big screen. You don't have to take it to the house.
I'll do a double pass and let Ladd run it 40 yards in the end zone.
I'm running all the way back across the field.
Yeah. But if you don't know anything about 2007, the number 2 curse will pop up time and time again. It is a legitimate curse for this season. Unranked Tennessee also beat number 12 Georgia, 35-14, to hand the boys their 2nd loss of the season. And this was just a defensive masterpiece in Phil Fulmer's last year.
Yeah.
It took until 9:39 left in the 3rd quarter for Georgia to score a single point.
Which is crazy for the offense that we had.
Right. The dude you had, and that's what you got. But Stafford actually outplayed Eric Ainge 174-165 through 2 touchdowns to Ainge's 0 touchdowns.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Where was that game played at?
Knoxville.
Why was I thinking yeah. Fucking Neyland. Fuck that place.
Yeah. Neither Marino or any of the other running backs could really do anything on the ground. Noshawn had 30 yards. Craig Lumpkin had 26 and Thomas Brown had 20. But this is the game where Neyland really comes into it. Thomas Brown broke his collarbone in, what seems to be a tradition of players getting nasty injuries on a terrible field against a dirty opponent.
Yeah.
The guy, you can't have somebody get a nasty injury almost every week of every season. There's not something behind that.
No.
Just saying. Number 15 Virginia Tech beat number 22 Clemson, who was at the time, and I want you guys to listen to this because it is a very odd thing to say out loud. Clemson was trying to beat Virginia Tech for the first time since 1989.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I was like, that's wild.
So Virginia Tech played some peak Beamer ball in this game. Frank Beamer, that is. They had a pick six, a punt return for a touchdown, and a kickoff return for a touchdown. And the people, it was Reese Davis and Lou Holtz on College Football Final talking about how Clemson has special teams mistakes every week. I got the hiccups. Oh, no, not even. Dude, just had some crunchy Cheetos before I walked in here.
Some crunchy Cheetos. Were they the hot Cheetos?
No, they weren't hot Cheetos.
Are you a hot Cheeto girl?
No, not a hot Cheeto girl, sadly. Wish I was. People would buy my feet pics in. Anyways, Clemson, they were saying Clemson had special teams mistakes every week, and it's like, okay, maybe that accounted for one of the touchdowns.
Yeah.
But it's Beamer giving it two.
Oh, Beamer ball.
Like, there's no way Clemson was that bad at special teams. No, that's old school Virginia Tech with Tyrod Taylor. That's just what that is.
It is crazy because like you would think Shane Beamer would have a little bit of like special teams luck, with who his dad is, but you look at South Carolina special teams, and you're like, oof.
Well, they have had multiple trick plays on special teams for touchdowns every season since Shane Beamer took over.
Yeah.
The game I went to, South Carolina at Florida, their only touchdown of the day was their kicker passing a touchdown.
I can't wait to go to a game in Willie B this season. I'm excited.
Long story short, I may be going up to Massachusetts for like a week in September, but if I don't, may see if we can hit one of them September games together.
Let's do it.
But Virginia Tech could play this game with 6:39 left in the second quarter and still won this game. They scored 24 points in the first 20 minutes of the game. And Clemson's total of the day was 23. Clemson led this game in total yards, passing yards, time of possession, and first downs. The problem is they also had a 4-0 lead in turnovers lost. That'll do it more times than not.
Unless you're, what was it, Wisconsin?
No, Wisconsin lost that game at 5 turnovers.
Oh. The one game we were talking about earlier, but they had 4.
Kentucky lost that game.
Yeah, whatever, not fuck.
But that's going to do it for this episode of Jackpot, What Happened in 2007. We are going to do more in-depth weeks as they get crazy, and then if there's a couple of weeks that don't really have anything going on, we'll combine them. The plan is to finish this in late July, early August. We get into real football talk when real football is starting to come around. August 31st is week 0. But
what are you doing?
What
are you doing for the game?
Georgia game?
Yeah.
I don't know that game. So me and Mike are talking about going to the Georgia Southern versus Boise State game that night.
So I'm putting in a pass that weekend, and I've already told my first start. I don't give a fuck if I'm not allowed to. I'm putting in a pass that weekend. He's like, that's completely understandable. So,
Are you trying to come to Savannah, or are you trying to go to the game?
I'm going to the game.
Do what?
No, definitely not trying to go to the game. I ain't got that kind of money. No.
Okay.
Might make a trip down to Savannah.
Okay. No, we I have a probable connection to some real good seats at Georgia Southern if we decide to do that.
Okay. Okay. Let me know.
But a couple weeks ago, Big Frank told us we can't wear Georgia stuff. So
that's fair. I'll wear fucking GSU stuff.
I will wear what I wear for every game and then change after the Georgia game's over.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for this episode on 2007. Part 5 coming up next week. I will go ahead and spoil the next episode. Puncher's Chance series, we're talking Clemson. So.
Did you get Dabo?
No, I wish we got Dabo. I feel like it would be a great time. So if we're not pressuring him or talking about anything that he's doing wrong.
Right.
At the end, I might, right before he gets off, be like, hey, coach, you should probably do something about your offensive line they transferred to. Anyways, bye.
Stop being cringy. Goodbye.
Look, dude, that's fun. I like when people have fun.
Speaking of cringe, I don't think I've heard y'all talk about this yet. The Eli Drinkowitz fucking video that came out of him playing the air guitar with an actual guitar. While training was like, or not training, while Jesus Christ.
While the recruit was over there?
Yeah.
No, see, and at the end of the day, it goes back to what I was talking about a minute ago, man. Have fun. Have fun.
If you're listening, have fun.
Here's the thing. 2 years ago, we were legitimately talking about is Eli Drink was going to get fired after the game. And they just beat Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. So, have fun.
Have fun. I like it.
Yeah. Is it stupid? Yeah. Does it really matter at the end of the day? No. Because if the recruit thought it was cringy, he's not going to zoo. And if he's like, damn, this guy can actually have fun when we're not at practice or at a meeting or something, I feel like I can go talk to this guy. He's going to go there.
Well, the one time Kirby was recruited, I'm pretty sure that recruit, at least currently saw, that recruit ended up committing.
I firmly believe that recruits want to go somewhere where they know they can have fun when it's not a serious time.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be serious all the time.
No.
Like let's put it like this. Even at a place like West Point, their college football players have different rules.
They do.
Because you're not getting a single person on that field that is worth being on that field if you don't let your players have fun.
Yeah. That's fair.
And I know that because I almost went to West Point, and I have a friend that played at West Point, and my freshman year was going to be entirely different than his.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
But, as always, guys, if you haven't already, follow us on social media at nothing.finder.pod on Instagram. We are 2 followers away from 1,000, so go make some extra accounts.
Oh, yeah.
On Twitter, we are at FinderPod. Facebook, YouTube, just search us there. We're Nothing Finder Podcast on TikTok. Rate and review the show if you haven't. And if you send us a screenshot, we'll send you a sticker. We keep getting more reviews and no screenshots. So,
No sticker.
yeah, like, if I don't know who you are, I can't